Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a tutorial for this look that I had filmed last week. I had put up a sneak peek on my Instagram. If you're not following me on my Instagram, I'm going to put the link below. So this is a look which is slightly on the bolder side. I've done a berry oxblood kind of lip and a soft brown smoky eye with really glowing bronze skin. So let's get started with the tutorial. My dark circles have been troubling me a little, so I'm using an orange corrector first. This just helps in neutralizing dark pigmentation. So I'm using this under the eyes. I'm also using this in areas around the nose and mouth where I have a bit of pigmentation, and also in areas where I have some spots. Then moving on to foundation, I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. I'm using the shade 05. This is a very classic liquid formula. It's quite high on coverage, but it doesn't look cakey on the skin. So coverage wise, it's pretty good. The finish is semi-matte to matte, but like I said, it doesn't feel cakey or dry on the skin. And I'm using a beauty blender kind of a sponge from M.A.C to blend this onto my skin. Starting with the eye makeup, I'm going to use Groundwork by M.A.C as a base for my eye makeup. Using a paint pot like this just helps the colors pop more, and it also helps your eye makeup last much longer. So I'm using it all over the lid. Then I'm using the new Chambor Extreme Eyes Kohl pencil in the shade golden brown, which, like the name suggests, is a golden brown color, and I'm running this along my lash lines and my waterlines just to give a smoky look to my eyes. This eye pencil is really smooth and creamy. It's quite easy to smudge. And then I'm going to go in with the Faces Ultime Pro eyeshadow palette, and I'm using that coppery color, this coppery brown color, and I'm applying this all over the lid. I'm also going to use this along my lower lash line. To soften and blend the color in the crease, I'm using this lighter brown color and a fluffy brush. This is going to give a little bit of gradient to my eye makeup. Now, whenever you're doing any blending work, it's very important to use a very light hand, very gentle pressure, otherwise you'll end up wiping off the eyeshadow. So just work in soft wind wiper motion and very gentle strokes to blend the eyeshadows perfectly. Now coming back to the face, I'm using the Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick, which is going to be in stores later this week, and this has a really nice stick format. It's a very creamy formula, very blendable, and the color is very close to my skin tone, so it gives me a very natural looking bronzed look. It's not something very harsh, so I really like it for that. Now, because I've used a dark color for my eye makeup, I need to make sure my under eye area looks bright and fresh and not tired. So I'm using a slightly lighter shade of concealer. This is NC35 by M.A.C. Whenever you're using any dark colors along your lower lash line, you might need a little more of correcting and concealing, because darker colors tend to make your eyes look a little more shadowy. So you have to work a little harder if you have dark circles to make them look not so dark. To set all the liquid and cream products, I'm going to use the Benefit Porefessional Agent Zero Shine Powder, and this is a really nice lightweight powder. It sets the makeup beautifully without looking too dry or cakey. Then for bronzing my face, I'm using the Bronze Goddess bronzer from Estee Lauder, and this is a beautiful bronzer. It's satiny, it's not completely matte, it has just a very slight bit of iridescence, and the color is quite nice for my skin tone, slightly deeper than my skin tone, but not too dark. So I'm using this not exactly to contour, but to add a little more of warmth. And then to highlight, I'm using the Heat Wave highlighter, which is also from the Bronze Goddess collection by Estee Lauder, and this is a really high voltage highlighter. It has tons of shimmer, it gives a gorgeous glow to the skin, and because it's quite warm toned, it works really nicely on the Indian complexion. To finish off my eye makeup, I'm just going to add a bit of mascara, and currently I'm loving the In Extreme Dimension Waterproof Mascara by M.A.C. This gives really nice length. It is completely waterproof and super long lasting. And you can see mascara makes a ton of difference to the eye makeup. It just lifts your lashes and opens up your eyes. To fill in my eyebrows a little, I'm using the new Shiseido Eyebrow Styling Duo in the shade Natural Black. This is a very natural looking eyeshadow, pencil on one end and a powder on the other side. It's very good for people who want a really soft and natural look. Now you could very well pair this eye makeup with a nude lip, but I'm going to use a darker color. This is the shade True Oxblood by Sugar, and this is one of the new shades that they have recently added to the range. I'm going to apply this directly from the bullet all over my lips. And just to make the color last long, I'm going to blot it down with a tissue and add another coat of the lipstick. And as a final touch, I'm going to add a little bit of blush. This is the shade Dreamy from Australis, and this is a really nice soft peachy pink color, very natural looking shade, and I'm adding just a little bit of it, not too much because my eyes and the lips are already quite bold. And that is it. That is the finished look. I think this is a very nice look for evenings, for parties, especially once the weather cools down in the monsoons. You want to try slightly cooler shades, slightly bolder, darker colors, and this makeup would suit darker complexions as well. So that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know your comments in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.